care more about you.
I care more.
I care more.
Yeah.
I care more about you. I'm sick of seeing the same stuff. It's making me feel cautious, making me feel nauseous. Worried about your wrist and if it's on faucet. Mama still got a cough. Your brother stuck in a coffin. So divided and standoffish. Need to pull it together. Get niggas to run for office. Running us like a boss. Forgetting to count the cost. The leaders are signing off. The pastors is exhausted.
Conversations of NFTs and things. Investing all our dollars and hoping that freedom reigns. It's hard being us, but the talents cover the pain. Make it to the lead, but we still don't own the game. Way too many souls are tainted behind the fame. The parties in private mansions, they exchange some drinks. Corrupt the things you think.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Welcome back and welcome. If this is your first time, the King Status Podcast with me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with
Jay Duce, Mr. Prolific, aka the Prolific Potter, aka Jay Duce.
If I do say so.
You say so myself. Yeah. Okay. This works different now. Gotcha.
But welcome, and thank y'all. Please remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. All the links are in the description below. How you feeling, my boy?
I'm good, bro. How you? I'm good. I'm straight grinding, just trying to get to chasing the bag, and making my dreams come reality, where I'm working what I do now all the time.
Facts, and I think we're both in that place now. Just get right to it since you jumped it off. What are some things that comes with taking on your dreams, taking a shot on your dreams?
Shit, sacrifice, time, money, energy. Like, it's days where you want to be regular, man. It's days when you want to come in and not have to wake up on a off work day at 6 a.m., shower, get dressed, get started, set up for a pod, then have to go pick up a co-host, maybe hold people accountable, keep people on their toes, like just things that humanly possible you don't have to do. This ain't bringing you nothing right now in this current thing besides experience and gaining knowledge and being where you want to be at, but it's still it's that part of it. It's those sacrifices you make in every aspect where you might want to say, hey, I could really be traveling probably 60% out of the year and live an okay lifestyle, but I have much plans of grander things for me. And it's those small sacrifices early to me that can pay off way greater later.
Right. And it's definitely when we're defining sacrifice, it's like everything that Jay just said is a sacrifice under that. Because how he just said he could be taking more trips, but it's like you got to take time away. You even have to take time away from your family sometimes. And that's just finding your dreams, which is why on the last episode we were so big on try to make things happen before you try starting families and doing things. But as we all say, we understand if things happen and naturally, if you're dating and doing things, like it happens. But and it's still a blessing when it does happen often. So, but you still have to put those sacrifices in to make things happen. Because I definitely be saying with you, Jay, definitely sometimes it feels so much easier to just try and be an average. Like you were just like, yo, I'm going to just stay in this little apartment complex in the middle of the hood, just work a regular job, retire when I'm 65, and just take care of my family. But I'll stay here. I'll just not do anything else, not worried about getting up and trying to make things happen, make anything else happen, or to follow even my dreams. So it's definitely one of those tricky things because you don't know how to keep it's very hard to balance. It's going to be very hard to balance sometimes trying to still be a family person, trying to have fun, and then still go grind and make things happen because nobody's going to give it to you and nobody's out here really going to help you. I'm not saying there won't be people along the way, and it's a blessing when you have people along the way and a support system that will help you and be there for you and give you tools and help you, but it's still not always likely. So you still have to find a balance within yourself, definitely, and it's going to be tough, but you have to make some sacrifices. There's going to be some sacrifices, and it's going to be a tough road. It comes with a lot of disappointment sometimes, but a lot of bliss as well. So,
no, that's facts, bro. That is facts, and I feel like, man, you kind of, if you want grander things for yourself, it's going to take some time and it's going to take you having to do things that may make you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But you got to find beauty in being uncomfortable, like situations where I may have bitten off more than I could chew, but even that uncomfortableness, I felt as though, that I could, I would still win. Like okay, not supposed to be here, but nigga, you here, so get it together. And it's those moments that were defined you and teach you more than anything else can ever teach you about yourself. Like, hey, I figured it out, I got it done, and in a sense, then you have to take what comes on from that. Like everybody had this idea that you get this one shot, and if you blow it, that's it. I think you get multiple shots, and you just got to keep stepping up.
Facts.
And
I'm
as
with
you, yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm definitely with you on the second shot because I believe I'm in my second chance right now. Because even certain things that even happen, even with this pod, certain things that have happened in certain rooms and discussions we managed to be in, it made me feel like, oh, that opportunity is rolling back. Even when before it was like pop, it was more like when I was doing music. So, and I'd be looking at this like the second chance, which is why I'm still pushing so forward with this and why I'm pushing forward with this and just moving ahead and not letting anything stop me simply because it's things are going to happen. It's going to be roadblocks sometimes. Is it going to break you? Is it going to stop you? Is it going to make you turn around, reverse? Or even if sometimes you have to make the reverse, but it's still never of I'm getting off this route. I just have to take the detour. So that's how I look at it. So sometimes it was like maybe I did, okay, I made a U-turn, but then I'm like, wait, let me just get on this road, but just in a different car. Different road, but still to the same destination.
Yeah. That's how that go. That's why even when you said your second, I feel like you get more than two. Like you get multiple chances to keep taking it, but if you want to do certain things, you can't do both. It's hard to be able to be always there for make every engagement, every situation, every party, still travel, see the world, be at every birthday party, do all. You got to pick your sacrifices if you really want a different lifestyle, and in that you got to keep going towards your lifestyle no matter what else is going on in a way, but also be relevant and be understanding of you can definitely control your schedule though. I don't care what you got going on. You shouldn't miss your kid's birthday.
Yeah, exactly. That and I'm definitely with you. So please don't confuse our words. Like that's why I'm glad he said that. It doesn't mean miss your child's birthday. It still means like we're just saying it's going to be tough balancing, but definitely don't miss out on what's important and what's definitely going to be there, whether you make those goals or not. Your child's still going to be happy about you being there, whether it's you're not. If they're not going to really understand sometimes that you're going there you're not going to be there to make their life better. Because your presence is their currency. So they're not looking at the dollar amount and what they have to take care of. Your presence is enough. So thanks, Jay. So that's definitely why we're not saying don't miss out on family birthdays and you can still make time and go have fun. It's just some things like you may have to just not do. You may do 10 every 3 months, 10 events. You might have to chop it down to like 4 or 5. Just to make things happen so that way you can have that focus so that way you can still because you're still going to have to because I know me and Jake can probably attest to doing this too like some of the sacrifices some of the sacrifices of losing sleep definitely is always with anything but it's still like what we mean
but that's still a choice. You go to bed early. That's what I'm saying for some people.
And that's kind of what I started doing but what I'm saying is we're still saying you can be there to tuck your child in at night and then you just have to put in that extra effort to just put in that work after. No, if you can't get it done early in the morning, like you said, wake up early. If you can't get it done, hey, you just gotta take that sacrifice some sleep hours at night by still being there for your family, but you still gotta put in that work.
Yeah, I mean, or whatever it is you're chasing. Like you could be a person that's in the music scene, and you feel like you gotta be at the club every night to gauge and get your music out there. All right, if you're gonna do that, then you gotta work harder. You can't be at the studio then all night, then at the club, and then trying to still get to your job because a lot of times people allow their world to crumble around these things instead of using things to fund other things. Like, whatever you're doing, you can get funding and you can use your 9 to 5 can fund so much of your dreams. You ain't gotta eat the crazy food you eating and do all you're doing. You can actually take some of that bread and
Right.
sow it into something that could be great for you for the rest of your life. And it's just the things we decide to go through, and this journey is all on. I think for me and you, it's different for people who like are the visionary and has the vision to make this work, and you have to work with other people. It's using and being understanding, but also always being prepared for when things go wrong. And I think it takes an expert level of knowledge to just let me find a way to ensure that somebody, whatever else I got going on, I can have myself and my project and my ideas hold
Exactly.
that key in their system and make them feel involved and loved and appreciated for even sticking with us in these situations where I don't have a check for you yet, but my goal when the check come, it's gonna come, and I'm gonna make sure you taken care of respectfully. Because
Exactly.
that's part of this whole journey we are on. And me, like, a lot of the time is people think you can do it by yourself. For me, I never had that dream. It's always been building a team and doing it a team way. And I've tried different teams, and right now I have a good team of just in different podcasts, different forms, different people I'm working with, to where it's helping uplift what I want to do to places I didn't even think I wanted to. Like some of the stuff I'm doing today is stuff that I didn't even get. I just wanted to fucking podcast. I just wanted to. I just wanted to fucking stream at a point. Like it was just these small little things that, but also always held home to some of the things that I always wanted to be. I always want to be owner of my own ship,
Right.
and that's what I am today. I'm always wanting to be able to steer. I always wanted to prove what I could really do in some spaces, because it's like you see these voices, you see these people, you see the narratives that people run with, how hard it is to get on, how hard it is to do this, and when I feel like I can see beneath the matrix, and like, it's really not that hard, but you're not willing to work that hard. Like it's not hard to get to the spot, but it's hard work in that journey. Like, Like it's like so I'm trying to say, like, people act like you gotta wait for a once in a blue, a million chance. Yeah, like the once in the blue, or you gotta be gifted by somebody, or somebody has to present you with this option. No, bro, it's really hard work and grind. Right now, the audience, the internet is your thing. There's a 14-year-old kid who animated the Lego Amazing Spider-Man 2, not Amazing Spider, Miles Morales Spider-Man second movie. A kid saw the trailer and then animated it in a month. One single black child in Canada animated
I
the
gotta look
whole
that up.
trailer into a Lego form, and it looks fucking amazing. So good that he was on the actual film for the Lego scenes in the film. He did it all off of Unreal Engine, and that's what I'm like. Cuz just got the program, worked hard at it, figured it out, and decided to
I gotta
showcase
check
it
it
to the
out.
world. And that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Like, it's a grind. Like when I talk about podcasting, and I talk about the business, the analytics, the crowd marketing you got to do, the building an audience, giving people enough content to really sink their teeth into, to stick with you for a while. That's what I'm in my approach. But that's hard work. I'm asking people to be with me 10 hours a week.
And it's not even just podcasting. Like even the list you just said, that's also doing music and creating things. Like you still have to put so many hours into, because a lot of people don't think about the business side. They think of the creative side, and it's still like that other headache that comes with on doing it on the business side, as well as doing it on the creator side. And then, but like you said, and this season as well, I'm learning what it's like to really work with a team and how much more effective it is. Even when I did the book, like, because this book process was so different from the first time I did it. So now it's like I'm communicating with people. Like I said, I had like basically three different editors. I had a team of illustrators, and other things behind the scene things to just make everything polished and look a certain way in the market, and it's like everything that comes with it. And like you said, it's not like you didn't well, you probably did just say it, but even the marketing aspect of it, that's a whole nother game. Like it's like when you do this business stuff, it's different components that you really have to dive in and learn. Like you really have to know what industry you're in first. You have to know the industry you're in to know what you're creating, and know to build that audience. But then you got to learn business. Business is business. So you still have to learn how to money manage and get your paperwork right. Know who to deal with. Know who not to deal with. Then it's the after that business side. But then, well, it's a lot that comes with the business because then it's the marketing that goes along with the social media marketing. But you still have to find ways. Like, you have some people that have the billboards out, they have the posters out, they have the banners on street signs. They're doing that. Like, so it becomes a grind. And then those people who do the banners, like where you see they may do them on a bridge, and yo, that's a heavy grind because they might have had to go do that at 3 a.m. or something, like just or stapling posters around the city. They're out 3 a.m. Like, so it comes with sacrifice. So sacrifice, that's sacrificing your sleep and in a way sacrificing your safety when you're out late like that. But you gotta reach these goals. So it's like you said, sometimes maybe no, it's not that hard to get there. It's just the process of getting there is hard. But once you get there, at least you're there. And not saying it'll get easy, but it'll probably get a little easier because now you have the resources. You can hire the right people. You can make your production look a certain way. You can get with these major companies and bring some type of income where you can pay your people as well.
Yeah,
So.
but also you can get it your own way. Like I feel like even without the majors behind you, you can still make your content look that good.
Absolutely.
You can make your
this look that good.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. It's
This
a work
look
in
that
progress.
good.
But you can do things to where it can cost you not into the grand, because at the label point they were doing that for tons of different people.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it for yourself, but it's just going to take you devoting that time and energy into it, and that's what people don't really want to do at the end of the day. End of the day, people could chase their dreams, but it's going to take time and energy, and people do not want to do that. It cannot. For some people, their dream might even take money. But it's might take a lot more of your time. That craft, it might take your dream might end up with your hand at the end of a pencil. But that hand at the end of the pencil is a 2-month journey for one piece of content that you then have to big up like it's the best thing on the planet and then, to everyone you see.
And then, like you said, it's not even just content. Like when you say like it may not even cost money, but it may cost a lot of your time. So it's like young athletes. I would say that probably costs a lot more of their time, where they have to be out there practicing and hustling, keeping their body right, and the other discipline of, I really have to pay attention to what I eat. I have to make sure I train. I have to make sure I get enough sleep. It's like all that. You need enough time to train and sleep.
No, facts.
You need to work yourself, and that's when anything. You need to work yourself so much mentally and maybe physically, and still get enough sleep to make sure you're still functioning properly. So and one of the major different key components that I say to following your dreams that I have just started doing, and I've seen how it's been working. Whatever I think I'm too cool to do is the thing I do, because whatever you think you're too cool to do, whatever you think you're too cool to do is probably the thing you should be doing. So when you think you're going to look weird, hey, you might have to try looking weird to you, because you might not even look like that. It's just you never done it. So don't let that fear of the unknown, and it is fearful, like it's intimidating of the unknown, but you just have to do it. So I would definitely say whatever you feel like you're too cool to do is probably the thing you should be doing to get to the next level.
No, facts. No, man, yeah, that's a great message, and I hope people listen to it. I hope people understand that, it just starts like, I'm somebody, hey, DM me, message me, comment. If you want to get started, I have no problem giving game. Like, to me, like I always say, like, it's to be given. Like, I don't want to charge somebody to fucking understand what I'm trying to do. Hey, if you can figure this out and you can make something of it, I'm happy to be a part of your journey and your grind. If people feel like you got to be attached to somebody whenever you decide to help somebody out. Like, it has to you have to get something monetarily, or it has to be a later on thing. You can add to their story. Maybe down the line, if they want to be like, the person who put me on, let me make sure I reach back and give back. Or if they don't, you still got to run your own race. Like, a lot of times people forget to continue to run. Like, I can be wanting to pursue your dream, but that is nothing that shouldn't take away from my dream.
And then, like, what we always definitely say is, like, when you said the game is not to be sold, you feel like you can just give it, because at the same time, I can tell you all this, but if you don't want to put that work in, it doesn't even matter. It's the same way you can watch so many different things. You can watch all these motivational videos. Guess what? You still got to get up and do it. You still got to get up and change that. So you can listen to 1,000 motivational messages. If you never move and get up and do whatever they say, It's not going to change anything. You're just getting words of wisdom, but you're not taking action. And that's where that lack of accountability comes, because like people are just so ready to just blame other people. And the other thing in this position that me and you definitely are learning in my multiple positions, our other endeavors as well, is if this is your vision, you have to keep it going no matter what. If you hit that roadblock, if somebody doesn't show up, if somebody doesn't get this done for you, it still falls on you. And I learned that in the workspace. I was like, when I was a supervisor, man, when my guys would mess up, they weren't calling them in. Like they were talking to me. But the person I am in a leadership position like that, and how I believe you should be, because it's like, it's on my shift. If they do something wrong, I have to be responsible for that because it's under my shift and my lead. But so I wouldn't be in there blaming them. I would just take the heat for them, but that's how I would talk to them afterwards. Like when I talk to my crew, I'd be like, just really, like, you need to help me out and just pay attention doing that, because when they're in there, I'm taking the heat for you. I'm not in there saying, oh, but you should be blaming him. And it's like, no, I'm in there taking the blame for you, because I don't believe in just pointing the fingers. Yes, it was under my lead, so I'm going to take that responsibility. But that's why I'm with your vision and your dreams. You have to just put everything else you got to put things on the back burner with your dreams, because you got to have some accountability. They're your dreams. And if nobody's coming to take the ride with you to come support you, if you got a performance or anything, it's your dream to pursue. If they're not buying, the people you love aren't buying into everything you do, hey, they're still your dreams. Everybody's not going to see your vision right away. They're not going to see it most of the time until it's too late.
No,
But it's still like, but sometimes you can't blame people because it's your vision. They can't see what's in your head. It's some things in my vision that where this vision started a couple years ago that people are just starting to see right now.
Facts
from me. So sometimes it takes time, and you can't blame people. It's not their vision. It's yours. It's in your head.
No, that's very much a fact. And I also wanted to say, like, make sure you're mindful of the people around you. Don't be afraid to pivot and work out. Like, for me, a lot of my podcast has been pivoting, and the people you thought might have been the perfect person for this weren't it. But the person that sat down and held you down in some kind of way, like for me, like my girl's on my pod now, and my brain had it to be us separate pods and have us do a couple one together. And now I'm in here like Ray J trying to fix my hat, guys. Don't mind me. But no, and having her on the pod is great because I'm able to have somebody I know that's going to be there every week. So no matter what, it's going to be me and her if anybody else shows up. But I also got co-hosts that stuck with me through multiple iterations of this, and we haven't put out a single episode yet and still show up every week. So I'm thankful, and I'm putting them in position to win. And also, whatever they have in their mind, and shout out to Magic, who's on my podcast now as a co-host from Engineer. It came from, thank you for showing up week to week. And I try to make my conversation so compelling that you want to talk for this. And now you comfortable to be on camera? All right, cool. Let's get this shit working. And that's how this cast, and then shout out to Mizza. Mizza came through off of just a thought of something, be like, yo, you want one more female co-host? All right, I got somebody. And she came through and has been a great asset to the show. And that was me, but none of you were in my original plan. Mm-hmm. It all came from just me deciding to use what I have and like, hey, this is the moment. You got everything else? Hey, I feel like once I got that piece and you can't say you want nothing else, I don't care who the person was. You had this many calls in your brain. You got that many. Mm-hmm. They show up. They record. What you waiting on now? All right, let me get my shit together. Hey, clips and thing. Even for me, it was kind of like, oh, shit, we ready. And I had to get prepared for that feeling of like, oh, shit, I'm ready. All right, now shift off creative part, marketing. Yo, how am I going to market my pod to be exactly what I want? And the ideas you've had forever, you got to actually, now you have the content to bring them to fruition.
And it's funny that you brought that up because we never talk about that. Like, sometimes when you get to that point, it's almost overwhelming because you were like, I've been working so hard to get to this point. Now I got to it. Even though I know what I have to do, it's still like, it gives you like oh, wow, it's actually working. Like it's actually starting. So now I got to put my money where my mouth is. Like that's how I look at it. Like, I'm like, I've been talking about this. I've been giving people the vision. And now that it's here, what you gonna do? It's time to show them, and that's the advice I would definitely give anybody. Like, yo, when it's time, like when you feel like it's ready, and you never know when the exact right time is, because you're gonna always believe it could be better, it could be perfect. But like I always say, sometimes being a perfectionist turns into procrastination. So you just want to, like, when you're ready, just put your money where your mouth is and just show people what you got. And then like you said, what people have to understand. That's why it was brought up, like roadblocks, and sometimes like, yo, you got to take a detour, because on the path, nothing goes 100% of the time like the way you completely envisioned it. Like we be saying, like sometimes we didn't put a direct date on when we wanted this to be done. So sometimes we're like, yo, we want to get this done, but it might take 2 years to do it.
Yeah, and I think it's beauty in that aspect though. Like it taking 2 years, if you really grind it out and you get to the end of that 2 years and you ready, like for me, it's like, oh shit, like I'm well prepared, well equipped to take this as far as I need to take it. And no, even me knowing the number of the episodes, I believe I'm going like, yo, my uptake gonna be right here. I could tell it because this is the work I'm gonna put in. And then even from there, it's just on that road to success, it is definitely a big thing for you to may have to take some pit stops, gather, regroup, regather, and
Right.
figure out what is like your message right now. Because a lot of this for me is I have a thing I guess a goal in everything I'm doing, even to the pod and who I want to be and who I want the message to be perceived and why I do it. Why there is a black voice in this that is not from this lane or this lane. Like for me, a lot of podcasting has been infiltrated by musicians who want they just do. It's people here who have never, and actors now. We got a strike going on.
Yep.
It's people in this
Athletes
in this
as
field
well.
that are not like in the sense of they're doing this just because they have something in them that wants them to bring this to the world in this type of conversation and show that you can be this type of person with women, men, and everybody respectful, cordial, love, and even have things go to a higher, more explicit spot. Patreon, your Friendly Neighborhoods podcast, it's get kind of crazy on there from higher tiers, $40 tier. But in that situation, being able to show you how you can be respectful and congruent and not be the weirdo in situations when shit happens. When people are comfortable and things happen, you can't, motherfuckers act weird and get clammy. My point is to show how to be a cool general motherfucker. So anybody that looking on this and give information and speak from a point of a black father, a black man, a black just somebody who's put on this earth to do more than just be another soul walking it. So I just think in that case, you got to kind of be able to take those pit stops and regroup, because sometimes you'll be doing something and don't even know why you're doing it anymore. And it'd be like, damn, like oh, we started this and my goal was this, and now we're here and I'm doing whatever the people wanted me to do and not what I want to do. So it's in that you got to keep going, and people are going to tell you, and people are and listen to, yo, you got to pick, and it's a lot of picking and choosing to who to listen to over yourself. Those are big conversations, because some people might have game for you and it's going to really help, and some people might have game for you that's really going to deter you in a way. So you got to understand, like, no, is this message really helping me, or is it just somebody trying to inflict what they believe the space to be? Are they understanding, listening to where I am and where my mind is going, and then commenting on that, or are they just commenting on whatever it is you're doing to get into where they believe the winner, the seek is, without any real research? Now, the people who research and understand and can have a higher level of conversation, definitely listen to them. But don't discredit your own voice in that. Find a way to combine the two together always.
Exactly.
But
because it's still your lane.
But when you get a chance to, make sure you take the time to understand that you are able to gain knowledge and give it out and have your vision grow and develop from what it was. Like, it should be progression. It should be motion on your if it should never be stagnant.
Facts.
And take criticism well. Like, people are going to criticize you, but take it well and move on.
Yeah, and I definitely had that conversation. That's why I'm glad you brought up this one point, because I had that conversation this week where I was like, somebody was dealing with that. Like, they just like, but I mean, they pursued and being them with their craft. But I was like, yo, you know why it's important to be you with your craft? Because I never not seen someone who put on an act so much and then they didn't get exposed. I never seen no one not get exposed after putting on this, portraying to be something that they're not. And I always definitely say, like, yo, it's easy. If you can be you and you're honest, like, people can't really expose you. and you just really being who you are. But and then that's why it's important to definitely do that with your craft, because ultimately your craft and what you're showing the world is a piece of you. It's what you do. It's what you take time to do. It's what you work hard to do. It's where your creative mind comes from. It's the beautiful genius that you work on and what you do. And then especially as over the years as you get better, that you just want to you just want. I know people want their recognition, but you definitely have to just be who you are. Like, I'm not really for the gimmicks. I definitely always appreciate when I know that even if you do gangster rap, I definitely always be like, yo, I respect it though, because I know that that's who they are. Like, so it doesn't matter what you are or who you are. I'm gonna respect it if I know that's who you are. So I know you're not faking, and that's why I say when I'm on this camera, it's not too much different that of like I'm gonna have these same type of conversations with you. I might just say things a little differently, might use a little different language, but I'm just saying like. But it's still me. It's still who I am. These are still my beliefs. This is still what me and Jay say off camera, and what we're doing behind the scenes, and what we're saying along with the following your dreams. Sometimes like every times we don't even talk through the week. We won't see each other. But it's like I know where everybody's focused, and then me and him, particularly, we have families. Like, so it's still like that time when we're not grinding and doing something creative, we're with our family. So it's still like we have to balance our home, and then we come to each other after this. But it's still a beautiful thing that we still can. But but yeah, just really be who you are, and you'll get a lot further being that way, and give people your gift of who you are, because what you're giving and what you're creating and what service you're providing that people love, it's a gift of you. It's a gift from you, but it's a gift to you as well that people see and they believe in you. And I think paying for a service is them believing you enough.
No, facts. And even in that, like, I feel like we can definitely communicate more, though. It could definitely be a situation like, and it ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's definitely being able to understand and hear that. All right, cool. Well, let's try and just go and do it. Like, a lot of times people don't ever, like, people had a discussions to be like, all right, well, fuck it. We talked, then don't ever try it to change and elevate the situation.
Exactly.
So I'm like, even in like art, like, niggas, we definitely have feeling a bunch of shit going on, but a few texts on a week could make things simpler or make things more easy.
Yeah.
And that's just us as men being able to go like, all right, well, let me try that. And if it don't work, you can go like, I told you so. If it do work, like, that was a good idea.
I told you so.
and that be a good idea. You move on, you move forward. A lot of times we let our pride decide things for us over our own mind and our opinion, because you think it's that nigga hit me up, so I ain't gotta hit him up. And that's a lot of people. A lot of people had their phone working one way. It works both ways, and it kind of is like, for me, whenever somebody hit me up, I go, well, I know all the shit I'm doing. That they must. I know they got a bunch of shit going on, so it ain't no problem with that. But sometimes people don't get that same courtesy. People don't hit you up, and next thing you know, you hear them, they be like, well, all right, fuck you, nigga. Be like, damn, bro, I'm busting my ass here, like, nigga, and you could have called me. I didn't think to call you because I'm busting my ass. Like, and I could have been in motion. You could have hit the phone.
And I definitely automatically would give people that space when they're parents. Like, when you have, I'm like, yo, you got a family and you got people who need you, and in time you have to attend to and take care of. So I definitely understand that. Like,
and people with elderly parents who are sick, people like it's definitely different ways where people.
People got their own life.
I give everybody the same grace, because I mean, even when I was a single individual, my life would take turns, and you would never know. Like, some shit happens, in your life and your journey, and but it shouldn't deter from somebody that's been holding you down. No negativity there. You just might not have talked, and people take that as a slight to it being the end of something. When no, I just literally been busy, bro. Like, and you have been too. And it's like, hey, for me, I'm somebody I can go back to where niggas used to kick it every day, but it's gonna be at a certain time. It's gonna be the grind. But I would love and appreciate it still, because I'm young, and I still think that is still a place. And like, I think it's better when you get together with your people and have that community situation,
because you still need it.
Yeah, because like what's the point? Like, we gotta, like, us linking and holding this true helps it. I don't care. Even a phone call during the week helps it. Like, yo, if if you can find a way, once a week we might can link the whole fucking week. Like, yo, after work we do this, we do this, we do that,
Right.
and then we don't see each other for 2 weeks, and that'd be fine. But that be a
Because we
situation
understand.
to hold things down. Like, yo, I know friendships need work too, and and friendships turn to business partnerships, turns into some people's marriages. It's a lot of things where if you kind of cultivate this, it can help you out so much in the future. But a lot of time our ego keeps us from doing that.
And one of the things I like about this journey right now, and it's the ironic thing that I'm seeing it with a lot of like my peers that I know, or doesn't matter like if it's back in Jersey or out here, like some of the people I know, and this is us included. It feels good knowing you're walking like when you're seeing people take a shot on their dreams, but you're seeing your peers doing it as well. But then when your friends are doing it as well, where y'all can walk with each other, it's like walking on two different paths, but walking the same direction. Like we can see each other, so now we have that accountability for each other. Like, yo, why aren't you grinding with this? Or like if we have our cliche motivational talks, and it's like, yo, just make sure that you doing the same thing. Like, so anything I may say to y'all, like, yo, just get up and do it. What's the worst that could happen? I have to keep that same mentality for myself.
yourself,
When I'm
yeah.
feeling like that, oh, man, I don't know if I want to do it. I got to keep that same energy, because if I say that to you, I give you the right to say that thing back to me.
Facts.
But it's dope watching me and my peers, and this is you included, like everybody really taking a shot on their dreams no matter everything else, and nobody's really making excuses. Nobody's saying like, oh, but I don't have all this money, I don't have all this, like this type of following. Everybody's really taking a shot and really on the, yo, I have to put in the work. I'm sick and tired of talking about it. Let's just do it. Let's just put the work in. And sometimes that's really what it takes. But it's even better when you have accountability, because then now you have somebody doing it. And even though everybody's on their different path, but like I said, it's almost like we're watching each other walk the same direction, and like we can still talk to each other like, yo, so it still makes it comfortable even though you're on your own path. I don't know what other roadblocks you may deal with. You may not know the roadblocks I deal with, but it still feels good knowing, hey, we can figure this out. It's still almost like we're all walking this together at the same time. So it's a lot of help, and we all help each other in different ways. So
Facts.
that's what I love about this moment. What would you say are the key things that help you stay on this path as well? I know you said like what you go through, but what's like the mentality you try
The
to
mentality that keeps me on this path is knowing that I have a greater thing in me and for me to give to the people. So it's, even when it's hard, you got to make sure you get up and still do it. And it's not really hard for me ever. Like, to be honest, like, it's something I want to do and I look forward to do. So I don't really get the issues of it being like, I'm feeling like, oh, I just fuck it today or this. I don't ever feel like that. For me, it's like, dog, most I could be is tired. And then I shake that the fuck, hey, you tired? But dog, it's to me, for me, it's a great when I'm shooting my pod, or even somebody else say, yo, you got work today. And it's a fun, like, it's not like work, I'm going to my job. It's, I got to go figure out how to do something creatively today. That's different from tomorrow. Even in podcasting, what we do regular, same thing, new topics. It's finding a way to have a conversation in an entertaining way that somebody can find interesting. And I find fun and revel in that. So for me, that keeps my mentality is I make sure I love what I'm doing and check in, because if I'm not, then something's wrong, something's changed. And if it has, then I might got to pivot and find something else to do, and that's okay. But it's always checking in and making sure that you are loving what you're doing, because the moment you're not at all and you're not having fun at all, then what you doing it for?
Man, I'm completely with you on that. I definitely feel like when the fun gets out of it, especially like on the creative side, when the fun gets out of it, then I don't even know if I would want to be part of it anymore, because because it's work, but it doesn't feel like work. So when it actually starts feeling like, I mean, I'm not saying there's times it doesn't feel like work, even when it gets frustrated, but it's still not enough to make me like, yo, I don't love this, or I don't want to do this anymore. It's just like, yo, it's rough. So it's like sometimes you just feel like, yo, I just want to take a break, but I know what taking a break can cause. I know how that can make this journey even longer just by taking this one little break sometimes.
But also, sometimes you do need breaks. Like, sometimes, like, yo, for me, that's the enjoyment of it not being work. When you're at work and somebody's cutting your paycheck and you feel as though, yo, they have you for this amount of time, and you got to put your grind in that amount of time, and even then you bullshit some of the hours. For me, it'd be like, dog, if you've been working 2 hours straight, get up, take a break. It's things like, it's a lot for me.
Oh,
why,
yeah, I agree.
why even I edit in this space and down here, because I can get up and lay on the couch and be like, all right, that was a lot, nigga. That's a lot of screen staring. Your eyes is a little fatigued. Your brain is tired because you still, even in editing, you're still telling somebody else's story sometimes.
No, I definitely agree with you. Yeah, definitely listen to what he just said, because like I said, it's the same thing I said with athletes and whatever you do. It's like, yo, you got to know when to get enough, like, put enough work in and then get enough sleep. I just mean, like, you know, when you take a break, like, yo, I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna take some weeks off or something like that, like, just to get my, unless you really, really need it. Unless you really need it, then that's different. Like, you really going through some things in your personal life where it's really affecting the way you work, then I understand. Like, don't get me wrong.
But,
like,
I mean, what's really like 24 hours out of the day, even if you're not recording, you should be working at your content. You should be looking to repurpose your old shit. It should be those times, those moments you still to yourself, you should still be putting in work in if you want to take the time off of. That's my thing. A lot of people take time off and want to forget and totally, like, unless you're on vacation, that's different. I'm taking a vacation from this, and yes, a vacation from everything. I'm here to be in a vacation mode with my friends and family, turn the fuck up, have a good time, and that's that. But if I'm like, oh, I need a break from recording, then it's for me to be like, well, first, why something traumatic happened? For me, the pod is therapy, so I don't even get how, like, for me, it's hard for me not to figure out a reason to come in here and do this every day throughout the things I've done in my life. Now, other people, how they handle things, that's how that's their journey. Now, if you lose enough people, you got to take a break and regroup. Even in that regrouping, you got to figure out, well, what went wrong? What did I miss?
And I think you said this earlier, and see how this all ties back into, like, the first thing you said. It goes back to why you're doing it in the first place. That's what keeps you going. That's what helps. That's what keeps me going is, first, why did I choose to start doing this in the first place? Because it's not just for gimmick reasons or anything. Nothing I do is for a gimmick. So it's, why did you do this? There's a purpose behind it. It's not just because you want to do it to have fun either. It's fun, but that's not just the reason.
And even if that is your reason, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, because if you're doing it, and then what's wrong? If it turns into success and financial freedom, shoot, have all the fun, because at the end of the day, that's what we all want. And then another thing, like I said, this path that we're all on, it helps keep me in line, because it's like, okay, they're not making excuses, and they're going through the same exact thing. Like, we're both talking about the frustrations of this, but they're still pushing through it, so why can't I? And is the purpose bigger than your fears? And that's what it is. And sometimes you have to have that accountability to know when it's you holding you back. Are you afraid to get in front of the camera? Are you afraid to network? Are you afraid to just put money, invest in yourself, taking a shot on yourself? Do you believe in yourself? That's one of the reasons why I say, like, man, when I was in the studio with people and I would ask them, yo, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say this song is? If you say 7, it's like, bruh, you're going to have a hard time trying to get people to invest in you when you don't believe in yourself 100%. So you have to put in that money. Like, you might have to sacrifice buying sneakers for a month or two to make sure you get your marketing right or something.
And in that, like, if it's a 7 to you, then maybe go back and get back in the lab. Maybe go back and work. If the shit ain't working, don't go and be like, oh, yeah, this is my masterpiece. No, nigga, if you're not confident, make the shit you confident. Hey, if nigga asks you, like, hey, what you working on? Yo, I need 2 more weeks. Take them 2 weeks and get your shit together, but grind. Don't fucking play with it, nigga. Because a lot of times, motherfuckers, well, you definitely gotta believe, hey, fake it till you make it. I'm always gonna be that nigga. But if you yourself feel like the product isn't right, nigga, then how is somebody else going to? Then you, as soon as somebody else pick out the flaw that you've been seeing, nigga, now you feel like a fraud because you've been hiding this flaw. Instead of just hiding this flaw. Instead of just fucking keep it in the bean, keeping it true, and working on the product. Hey, for me, a lot of people don't even watch their content back. To me, that's insane. I watch this shit because I'm looking, but I'm main voicing to his mind like, damn, what did I say that for? All right, what did I? Yo, articulate better here.
Right. That's definitely true.
Yourself.
Definitely true.
Hey, right. Hey, you did this shot like that. You can make it a little bit better. Tweak. Hey, he could have been a little bit closer. All right, now we look good, straight. Keep this foot, and boom. Now I moved on from there, and it's still always like I gotta be able to enjoy what I'm doing. So whenever I'm on, I'm trying to make myself the point. Like if I'm sitting falling asleep watching the content, then I definitely fucking know somebody else is because they not invested at all.
Yo, you definitely got a point. That's definitely a point. I'm falling asleep during it, then I gotta do something. I gotta shoot, even if that means to scare them once. Like jump up there, but just scare them real quick,
Hey,
like make them like, oh
Hey,
snap, what they talking about?
That's definitely a clip. But but no, it's real shit, man. And that's why my goal in podcast is more the entertainment route. And that is because for me, the shows I watch, I'm entertained. I want somebody to be on the couch and feel like they might like, yo, we was drinking, we drink on my podcast. Sorry, if you ain't anybody, AA people.
But real quick, at the same time, even if like I think there's a level of entertainment because certain things like even if somebody's talking like even like them true crime type podcasts, it's like yo, if that's what you're into, like they may not be making jokes. But that's entertainment because it's getting you. So
they're invoking a different emotion.
Yeah.
They're hitting you at your the thing in that you love, the suspense and drama, and building you up into
whatever
anticipation of the end. And but they still know their method of doing that. So in their mind, it's I chose to do this, but I got to make sure I come across entertaining. So that might be working on a pitch, their performance, make sure they get low enough, talking to the mic the right way, speak to someone's soul when you telling them about a nigga that just murdered 20 people. But that's why I said for me, I chose entertainment because I want somebody to be able to sit and be like, yo, let me pour up a drink and watch this. That's what I want y'all to come pour up a drink, watch this, what the argue with each other, like I want those to be the conversations from what I do, and to further because my overall goal is to further these conversations in my community. So whatever I'm talking about, whether it be I'll spin off of an amazing topic that's in the news to spin it, bring it back home to some real relatable shit. Because I think that's the beauty in what this is for. It's for people to be able to learn more about themselves and others throughout viewing them, seeing somebody on the screen and just hearing dialogue that is not scripted and produced.
And I think that's a lot of like what we do. I mean, that's mainly what we do. That is what we do. It is like because we definitely get in front of these cameras to like really help somebody and really give them like we're giving y'all real vulnerable things that we don't have to give on camera, and we give our history, we're giving stories and what we're going through now, what we're working on. Like we may not give it in complete detail, like I said, but and tell you all the key players, but we're letting you know, hey, you got to do this if you want to do this, because at a point, the things we're telling you, we had to go through it, or it's the game we got, or it's the mistakes we made. And we're definitely getting in front of here telling people like the mistakes we made so you don't have to do them, because even though that goes with our story and what makes us, sometimes it's still rough going through it, and you can prevent yourself from doing some of these to save you the headache, because they may not be like us. Something like that, like some of the things we may have went through, and creatively, some other people might just give up. They might not see the vision past it, or know how to really go for their vision. Know like, hey, if it's your vision, that means it's worth grabbing. It's worth reaching, and it's gonna be a fight. You're gonna have to take some. It's gonna be nights you're gonna be crying. It's gonna be nights you're gonna be frustrated. It's gonna be nights you want to give up. It's gonna be nights that you don't even want to post. It's gonna be nights that you're wondering like, why is this even worth it? Like, but you just gotta push through it. It's your vision, and if you believe in it, it's worth getting. No matter what it is, it's worth getting.
No, that's a fact.
You know what else is a fact? How sexy I am.
Hey, yo.
I thought you saw it coming.
No, I mean, I guess because you looked for a pause. So kind of. But, yeah, you got anything else?
I would probably just, like, what? Okay, we can end it like this then. What are the key things? Like, I know people, we've been saying it all through the show, but me and Jay, we're going straight through. So it's just like, but just to give y'all and like probably just key points real quick. What are some of the key things like you do that you would give somebody pursuing this, even though we're still on the journey, but someone who wanted to get started today? Like, what are some of the key things you would just say? That boy sleepy.
Been up since 6. What are some of the key things I would say in this journey? Research, and obviously come back to that. Before you jump into something, research it, figure out what's going on, understand what it is below the scenes and above the scenes and on current and what the mainstream public is viewing. So you understand how you want to fully get into it, and then kind of flesh out your plan and what you want to do in it. Like you can't. A lot of people start things in just the women. Now sometimes that works out great. A lot of music careers have started just from a nigga saying like, "Oh, I'll step in the booth and see what happens,"
Yeah.
and now you on. But a lot of times for people who got to grind, especially those different age groups, those demographics, to where you're not really being looked at anymore. It's let me hone in on what my message is so I can make sure I'm clear and concise, and then what my target audience is. Like a lot of people don't have a target audience. Like figure out if you want to get something into similar things. Like I'm talking about creative fields. There is a lane for you everywhere.
Yep.
There's there, and then
Yep.
if you want to be, for me, I want to amalgamation. I can't say this word.
Amalgamation.
I think that's how it sounds right, but I don't know. I feel like I'm missing some letters in there.
Amalgamation.
Of different things, and that's the case because I want to hit all my interests and stuff. Because I'm somebody that's multi-talented and multifaceted, so I have multiple interests, and I want to be able to convey and talk to somebody with all those and have different people be able to comment. And from that, it took time to really now every before my pod, I gotta get my shit together because there's so much I want to get onto. And people don't take that time. Like, yo, understand the full craft of what you're doing. Even if you don't, like, and understand the title that comes with it. Like, yo, if you behind the camera, you're a videographer now. It's your first time. You're an audio engineer. You handling somebody's audio. You don't. And look up into what they do. Figure out research again. Learn more about the craft. And always be a student will be my overall key to being who I am today. It's always wanting to learn, figure something out, make something better. Like I got a shoot today. I have the money for the shoot I earned and spent in products just to make the shoot better, so that I can do another one. Because to me, it's the key to it all is never stop being a student. Never stop, because once you stop learning and stop being a substance of knowledge, then you're just you're putting you're starting the sands of times on your clock of when it's gonna be over, because you're not learning no more. So you're eventually gonna age out, whatever it is. Even like for like what I went to school for, even computer science. If your learning stopped at the time you graduated school, and that's the end of your computer languages, and the thing never stops going, then you age yourself out of this thing. You can only work at certain things. That's great. You got this amazing degree, but you can't go work at Google. Google's on its 10th language they went through when you still learned the 3 you learned in school.
Right. Like you stopped learning, and the world kept developing.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But that's what you got.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, like Jay said, I would definitely know what you're getting into. Dive deep, research, do everything, meet people, ask questions, whatever you got to do. Spend a lot of time researching. Believe in yourself. Definitely believe in your craft and believe what you're doing. And especially if you're really getting great feedback from more of the world, not just people close to you, like people who don't owe you loyalty. So you know you're getting the real from them. Don't complain. You'll be a lot more at peace, because keeping a stoic personality and mentality, it's just like what we were talking about earlier. You can either complain about it. No, I'm sorry. Let me just take this back. Keeping that stoic mentality, you won't have to. Man, my bad. I'm trying to say it the right way. If you can't fix it, if you can't fix it, it's no use complaining about it. And if you can fix it, it's no use complaining about it, because if you can't fix it, it's nothing you could do. If you can fix it, go fix it. So that's why I say you got to keep that stoic mentality. Believe in God, invest in yourself, put money behind yourself and the resources, and just be resilient. Keep going hard. Don't let things stop you. Yes, things are going to hurt you, knock you down. Get up. It's the cliche. If you get knocked down 7, get back up 8. And definitely build a team around you. Get the right people around you who know how to do more than what you can, definitely. And I would say that's about it. I know when we get off camera, it'll be a lot more that be coming, but
Count them for the people so they know how many you said.
yeah.
mean, was it 5? We gave them 5 keys to success.
Probably each. I think did we do 5 each?
Oh shit, I don't know.
I felt like
Hey,
it was close.
Y'all count them and tell us.
Yeah,
Y'all count and tell us how many keys to success we gave y'all. All
My
right.
boy over here pouring up a mimosa.
Y'all wasn't supposed to see that.
But we thank y'all for tuning in to the King Status Podcast this week. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You have been with me, your host, Mr. Moore the King, along with
Mr. Prolific, a.k.a. the Prolific Potter. Go tune into your Friendly Neighborhood Podcast on all platforms. We everywhere. It's going to be even on audio only. Thank y'all for coming in. And again, it's Jay Duce.
If
I
Do Say So.
Myself.
And we thank y'all for tuning to the King Status Podcast. And we'll see y'all next week.